Well, all right. Hello, folks. I'm back at it again. Today I've got something very special that I'm excited to uh, explore. I'd like to give a big shout out to Mr. Delay. Thank you for getting this bottle into my hands. Very grateful, sir. And with that said, let's dive into the bottle at hand. We have Augusta Distillery Buckners Single Barrel Cask Strength 13. So it is a 13-year-old Kentucky straight bourbon that is uncut, unfiltered, and kept at cask strength. So Augusta, not Augusta, Georgia. Augusta Distillery is a Kentucky bourbon company. They are a new company and they are a non-producing distiller. So they are not up and running, distilling or aging anything, I believe, at this point. I believe they don't open till this summer, if what I read was right. So they are sourcing these barrels for this limited inaugural run of this Buckners 13. And they do leave a few clues as to what distillery might have produced these barrels and what is in these bottles. So the first clue that they give to us is that it is matured 200 yards from where it is distilled in Bardstown, Kentucky. So we know there are a few suspects right off the bat in Bardstown, Kentucky. We have Heaven Hill, we have Barton 1792, we have Willett, and there's newer ones that Lux Row, and there's distilleries within a stone's throw of there as well. The second clue they give to us is actually on the label and on their website. It is their product specs, and they give us the mash bill of this. So the mash bill is 74% corn, 18% rye, 8% malted barley. And that's a very familiar mash bill. So, another clue, we have set this up tonight on a little old warped barrel head from one of my very first barrel pick. So this happens to be from a barrel of 1792 full proof. A few years back, got to go down to Bardstown, Kentucky. Group of guys from our sister store and me and a local cohort, Barrett Gilson, went down to Bardstown, Kentucky. They rolled out about 8 barrels for us, and we all got to try them, take our time, and we each picked a barrel. And it was an amazing experience, and one I'm very familiar with. Have done numerous 1792 full proof picks since then. And your 1792 full proofs, they come in at exactly 125. It's not the same thing as a cask strength. One full proof 125 is the legal entry point limit for your distillate when it goes into a barrel to mature. So Barton is known for having the Barton banana note. It translates from their full proof to their standard to very old Barton, especially the 100 proof bottled in bond. And I'm a big fan of Barton products in general. And full disclosure, I took some time with this last night. I was actually planning on recording this then, but it was late and it didn't happen quite the way I wish it would. But at least it gave me some time to sort out some thoughts on this, because we have a lot of things going right on the label and it looks really great, and it's awesome. But this bottle falls into a territory that may be a little bit controversial to some, may give some pause, others not. This is a sourced bourbon with a really good age statement, all the specs on the sheet are great, but it is coming in with a hefty MSRP. The $199.99 is the suggested retail price. And we live in a day and age where bourbon is in a huge boom, and the phenomenon of the secondary market for bourbon, and things can get a little bit crazy and out of hand in terms of prices. So to have an offering come straight out of the gate with a premium price tag uh, is a relatively newer phenomenon that seems to be occurring more and more. And there lies the question, are these worth that price? You know, people go crazy for Buffalo Trace products and are willing to, pay quite a bit more than the suggested retail price. So, with that said, I had some of this last night, and we'll go ahead and go into the nose now. The nose is absolutely amazing, an astonishing nose. What I was expecting was the Barton banana, but what arrived was like this whole medley of apples, Honeycrisp, Fiji, maybe even some Golden Delicious, a little bit of green apple coming with this honey caramel with that oak coming right in there with everything. It's very dense, but at the same time, everything is really nuanced inside this nose. It's absolutely fantastic. Mm, mm, mm. Sometimes the nose of whiskey can just be so damn captivating. And with that said, we'll go in and we'll see what arrives on the palate. It does not disappoint on the palate either. It arrives. You know you got some heat there, but it is nothing unbearable. The heat comes on, it envelops your mouth, really good mouth feel, but then there is a burst of so many different flavors, and they all seem to have their own timing. It bursts into a peak, and then it just rides out. And there is such a wonderful oaky finish on this that just keeps lingering and lingering. It is not bitter, it is not tannic. It is just this wonderful uh, oaky finish that just keeps it's still going down. Uh, really reminds me the taste of that. If you've ever been in Bardstown or been to a rick house, and the smell of the mash bill, that is the mash that's in the air, the smell of being inside, and all those oak barrels and whiskey, and just the smell and sensation of that translates really well to the taste and finish of this. It's really weird, but um, really good. So, with that said, we're talking about a $200 bottle here, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. I can understand perhaps the reasoning why. Maybe some of the manufacturers, some of the people that want to produce these products, and they put them out there with a premium price to hopefully avoid it spilling over and snowballing on the secondary market. If the price is already steep enough, the ticket to ride is expensive enough. Uh, maybe that'll work for them. It is a goddamn good bourbon. It is a goddamn good whiskey, and that's what I will say about it. And since it is a beautifully aged 13-year-old whiskey, we will compliment it today with the Kershaw Launch 13. So this is actually my very first automatic knife. Never really got into them, purchased them, but a lot of their designs were, to my eye, a little bit boring. Kershaw's Launch series just did not fit my fancy in terms of its looks until this guy came along. The Launch 13 uh, comes out very nice, fast. We have a classic, one of my favorite blade shapes, the Warrenclyffe. The pokey, slicey potential of that blade style. It's almost second to none. And just the attention to detail on this one is absolutely, Kershaw knocked it out of the park. The all black handle, all its contouring, lightening it up with a little bit of skeletonization, and the wonderful black accent up there on the blade that travels all the way down the length on top. It's well done, very well done. So it is made in the USA. It is CMP 154 blade steel and 3.5-inch blade, about 8 inches in total length. And I've rather come to enjoy this automatic knife from Kershaw. Not a bad job. So, two phenomenal products that bear the number 13. Mm. This coming out of Barton with a little bit more age on it than like the full proof, but the proof being up there, it's rather impressive. Again, the burst of flavors, and I'm not even going to try to list them. What was in the nose still there. There's a way bigger burst of oak in, a little bit of spice maybe from that rye hitting, but then that lingering oaky finish is absolutely amazing. And on that note, I think we've covered it. I think we've went into the background of the Augusta Buccaneers single barrel, and it was a fantastic journey. And until next time, if you like these videos, you can like them, subscribe if you would, and I'll keep putting them out there. I'll pair more whiskey with more blades and explore